Erin is a young woman. She is a feminist. She's an environmental activist. She started her own NGO many years ago, started out her activism as a 13-year-old, started out Turning Green, an activism young NGO, and she realised that you've got to go beyond non-geopolitics. You have to actually get into politics to change the rules. And that is precisely what she's doing. She is running for Congress.
I'm going to rewind 25 years with you today, when my mom was pregnant with me, and she read a book called Diet for a Poisoned Planet, and literally in one day transformed our home. By the time my father had returned from work, organic food was in. Bulk goods were in. Chemical cleaning products and plastic were out. I grew up going to the farmer's market every Sunday, doing beach cleanups. I am from Northern California, from Marin County. We have the highest concentration of organic farms anywhere on Earth. That was my reality. But I struggled with this idea of being an environmental activist. How could I tell people what food to eat, what to drink their water out of, what to put in their homes, when people don't have food, water, and shelter? And I said, we need that. We need to activate our young people to do that, to be the change, to start young. And I came to realize that these issues of natural resources, of conservation, of waste, know no boundaries, regardless of geography or socioeconomic class or background. And I came to own that position better as an environmental activist. About 2 months ago, I gave a speech, and the through line was, if not here, where? Right? That proverbial question we ask ourselves, if not now, when? If not us, who? If not here, where? Talking about Northern California and the impact of that place, very much like this place, on my values, on my upbringing, on my professional path. And I walked off stage and people said, how do we get you to run for office? And I smiled and I laughed and I hemmed and I hawed. Sure, I'd worked on policy change around toxins, around waste, around green chemistry at the county, state, and federal level. But I don't fit the mold of what I think of as a politician. I sought out ways to add value to society through the very act of running. And one of those was outlining very specific pillars around environmental and public health. So we talk a lot about climate mitigation, about preparing for a changing climate. What about climate reversal? What about policies around sequestration of greenhouse gases? I'm kind of obsessed with this thing called soil, called dirt, and the ability to use it, the largest, most cost-effective carbon sink we have on Earth, and how we can incentivize farmers to better utilize that. How we can implement comprehensive toxins reform, which we haven't seen in our country since the 1970s, to protect particularly the most vulnerable populations, women, children, low-income families. The impacts of climate change are not far off. They're here. Where is our voice at that decision-making table in a country where 51% of our population is female and 35% is under age 30? There has never been a woman under 30 elected to national office. Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Wangari Maathai, these individuals who have changed history, they did not wait for someone to deem them ready or to assume some position of formal authority. They commanded moral authority. They earned that respect. We need more people to do that, but in a time when too many of us are being excluded, ignored, and discriminated against, when our people are being poisoned and our fragile planet is in peril, we need also to run for political office. And that is why a 25-year-old environmental activist is running for Congress.